Alright, guys, it says I'm live, but I can't see what I'm doing. Let's go make sure I'm live. Live streaming. Alright, I'm just going to take the word for it that it's live. Hold on. Yeah, I'm going live. Alright, guys. So, one of my favorite shows growing up as a kid was the show Lost. And I've decided that I'm going to go ahead and do an analysis of Lost, but instead of like really focusing on the show itself, even though I do want to dive into that a little bit, I kind of want to go into the illusions and themes of the show a little bit more. And you can't really talk about Lost without talking about this guy right here. Jack Shephard, the doctor, the hero, the protagonist, the good guy, the guy that has to save everybody. And when it comes to season 1, the very first episode that features Jack from Lost is an episode called The White Rabbit. Now, The White Rabbit is about Jack and his relationship with his father. Not only is it about Jack and his relationship with his father, but it's the first episode where Jack starts to crack. Now, in one aspect, it's about him cracking in terms of being the leader, in terms of him being the guy that's expected to save everybody, that's expected to know everything, that's expected to have all the answers. You know, he starts to snap at the other people on the island, the other people that are stranded, and this is the first time we realize why Jack went to Hawaii in the first place. Or to Australia in the first place, rather. It was so he could find his father's body and bring his father's dead body back to America. Let me see if I can find a good picture of his dad. Nope, not a good one. Oh, right there. So, and not soon after we find out that his dad's dead, do we find out that he's seeing his dad on the island everywhere he goes. And the more that he feels the pressure of being the guy on the island that's supposed to know everything and be the leader, the more he starts seeing his dad. And one of the first flashback scenes that we see young Jack defending one of his friends who's getting his butt kicked on the playground. And even though the kids are bigger and stronger than him, he still steps in and defends his friend. And even though on a surface level that shows a laudable side to Jack, it really shows that he is a hero at heart. It also shows that he's somebody who's not afraid to get in over his head. Or rather, he does the right thing in situations where he's in over his head. You know, he fights the guys, and that's the right thing to do. But he also does several things throughout the season, not just in the episode White Rabbit, that he can't manage, he can't pull off, and it's all because he feels the need to save people. You know, like in one of the very first episodes of the show, and this was, I think, Tabula Rasa, though I could be wrong. It was one centered around Kate, and it's time to anyway, in this other episode, it's kind of, he has to kill a patient, you know, a person that crashed on the plane and he's not going to make it, but he refuses to do that. Absolutely refuses to do that. You know? And that's because he doesn't know when to give up. He doesn't know when he's in over his head. And not only that, we find out that Jack, big bad leader, has lived in the shadow of someone his whole entire life. And that person's his dad. And his dad's a man who is very impressive. He's the chief of surgery at a hospital. You know, he does things that most dads don't do, that most people don't do. He raises people from the dead. But the point, I think, of the reveal of him and his relationship to his father is basically that you think Jack's this big bad leader, but really he's been in the footsteps of somebody else. Now that we've established Jack I want to talk about the namesake of the episode, the White Rabbit. The White Rabbit. That's not the rabbit that we're talking about. But the White Rabbit's actually from Alice in Wonderland. And one thing I never realized about this, so I thought that the whole point of naming the episode The White Rabbit is that Alice follows the White Rabbit in the movie, much like Alice follows his father. I thought the main point was that it's basically he's just following something that may or may not be real. It was about questioning reality and the reality of where he's at. But reading up on the White Rabbit, this guy right here, one thing I'd forgotten about, this is the White Rabbit from Alice in Wonderland, not Lost. So, one thing I never realized about the White Rabbit is that Alice, he's actually the one that introduces Alice to Wonderland. Or Alice finds out about Wonderland by following him. And that's sort of what's going on with Jack. You know, by following the ghost of his dad, he basically goes into the Wonderland of the island. You know, like, it's his trip into Wonderland. It's his opening up of the idea that, or him opening himself up to the idea that, like, things are very mysterious here. Things are very strange here. You know, like, well, I am in a place that's not real. That's making me question my sense of reality. Yeah, and that was the episode The White Rabbit. Good episode of Lost. What's your favorite episode of Season 1? And what character do you think has the best backstory of anybody on Season 1?